Welcome to the Scalpel of Truth, the podcast providing cutting insight on how to rise to the top in the medical aesthetics industry with your host, Leisa Krause, aka the Bitch and Beautician. That's Leisa with an E, which stands for explicit, because in this surgical suite, she won't sugarcoat the truth, and yes, there will be some seriously salty language, not suitable for sensitive souls, children, nor pets. As a business consultant, Leisa shares the knowledge and lessons she's gleaned over 30 years in the industry. Time spent working directly with patients, managers, and med spa owners alike. Her practice growth strategies are sharp, her stories and wit sharper, and her panache for bringing the spice the sharpest. So buckle up, bichachos. Leisa is about to slice and dice another episode of The Scalpel of Truth.
Welcome back to the Scalpel of Truth, where we cut straight to the point about what's really going on in the med spa industry. I'm your host, the Bitch and Beautician, and today we're going to talk about something that has been bothering me, grating my cheese, grinding my gears for quite some time now. And that's the unethical behavior that some people think is okay in attending a competitor's med spa event or being a clinic copycat. Bichachos, I am telling you, shit's about to get real. Here's the legal part I need to read. This podcast is presented solely for educational entertainment purposes. Guys, I'm just your beauty business bitch. I'm not a licensed therapist or an HR representative, nor am I a lawyer. This platform's used to share my experiences with what's made me a successful service provider, a manager, and a business consultant for those whom I coach. Got it? Beautiful. All right, let's cut right to the chase here. If you're showing up at a competitor's med spa event with the intent to take video footage of the decor, snag a swag bag, or check out the promos they're offering, it's not only being tacky, it's being unethical as fuck. There's a right way to support others in the industry, and then there's the underhanded, sneaky shit that needs to stop. So let's get right into this. First off, let's talk about why you might feel the need to attend a competitor's event. Maybe you're curious about what they're doing. Maybe you want to congratulate them. Maybe you just want to check out the competition and you're being nosy. But here's the truth. If you weren't invited or worked closely with that person in the past, you don't need to be there. And if you're just buying a ticket to spy, you're taking up a spot that could have been a paying patient. The very people they're trying to target with their marketing efforts. This industry is competitive enough without people pulling these kind of stunts. If you're genuinely wanting to congratulate a competitor on their success, shoot them a message, send them a bouquet of flowers, give them a call. You don't need to show up at their event unless you were invited. You certainly don't need to enter the raffle for a full face transformation. You don't need to snag a swag bag. Now try and say that a few times, right? Snag a swag bag. Those are meant for patients. It's not flattering. It doesn't paint you in a great light. It's not classy. It's not supportive. It's not ethical. It's certainly not demure. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of what's happening when you crash these events. If you do take a swag bag home, it's not because you're a fan. It's because you want to dissect every item to figure out how you can replicate that at your own clinic. You're not there to support or learn. You're there to steal. You fucking thief. Then there's the video footage thing. This kills me every time I see it. And don't think for a second that people don't see through your fake excitement. You're not capturing the event because you're thrilled for them. You're documenting it so that you can study it later and take notes on their deals, their setup, their patient interactions, and then copy it without giving them a shred of credit. I've seen some pretty underhanded stuff in my time, and it makes me wonder. Why are you attending this event in the first place? If the intention's to take what someone else has worked really hard to create and make it your own without acknowledging their efforts, then you're being downright low class. So I want to talk about stealing ideas and trying to pose as a friend, because this is a big one too. There's lots of fabulous, ethical collaborations that are all going on in our industry with some seriously amazing people. But there's also some seriously shady behavior. And I'm going to call this out, and it's Being one of the worst offenders, honestly, that I've seen is some of our sales reps in this industry. Lots of amazing ones that work events and work their tail feathers off doing events. But then you got the shady ones. The sales reps who bounce from event to event, gathering ideas, and then all of a sudden they become an event planner and a business consultant, and they're handing off ideas to other clients so they can have a carbon copy event. It's lazy, it's unethical, it's hurting the integrity of the entire industry, and it's sure as fuck hurting your reputation as a sales rep. If you're a sales rep that is involved with a kick-ass event, and all of a sudden you're at another event and it's seen online and it looks like a carbon copy of something else that you were at, everyone's going to know that you stole those ideas. Like, this industry is too small. Then you confront that same sales rep and they're like, oh no, I've been doing this literally for years. Well, that's fucking funny. I've never seen you post anything about this type of event, nor have I heard of you ever doing it. Your credibility is going to be in the toilet. And the people thinking to themselves are like, yeah, you lying fuck. I will tell you, because I've had these exact conversations with clinic owners that have literally told me, oh, yeah, I had a sales rep here and all of a sudden my event is completely duplicated somewhere else. And they tell me, I'm not interested in doing much more with that rep. I'm looking at bringing in, a different line or something like that. Honestly, it affects your credibility. And this just doesn't apply to sales reps. If you're attending under the guise of being a supportive colleague, but your real motive is to take notes and steal ideas, you're part of the problem. People work hard to put these events on. They invest time and a boatload of money and creativity into making them unique. And then you swoop in, take what they've done, replicate it without so much as a thank you, fuck you, nothing. You're not just taking ideas. You're taking their strategic advantage and trying to duplicate it. We're vastly approaching event season, and I've done event season in a previous episode all about events. I also have the Bitchin' Event Guide for sale on the website. If you have not snagged that yet, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. There's so many things that you need to be aware of that can cost you time, money, and your reputation when it comes to events. Another sidebar tangent before we move forward on this episode is one of the biggest things around event planning is securing qualified leads to the event. You want people to come to your event that are going to be patients that are spending money with you. I see so many screw-ups in this area, it's not even funny. There is a way to get qualified leads. So, you need to reach out to me if this isn't something that you've mastered. I will help you make sure that your competition isn't just rolling in with ill intentions, or you've got tire kickers coming. People that are going to enter your draws, take your swag, and buy no much as a cleanser. Okay? I've seen this happen for years. I have literally done hundreds of events, planned events, worked events, literally hundreds. And I can tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, so let's get real about what it means to be ethical in this industry. If you're genuinely interested in what a competitor is doing, there's nothing wrong with attending an event. But have the balls to ask them. Be upfront about it. Approach them. Say you want to learn. Try being honest and open about what your intentions are. I promise you, it's going to go better for you. And then worst thing they can say is, you know what? Actually, I prefer not to go down that road, right? And that's the only reason that lots of people aren't asking in the first place is because they know it looks ridiculous and a little bit, distasteful, okay? If you're showing up just to take what isn't yours, then you need to reevaluate your approach because this industry is small and word gets around. Being known as someone who can't be trusted is going to hurt you in the long run, far more than a temporary gain you might get from swiping ideas or snagging swag. Good etiquette means respecting the work of others. It means giving credit where credit is due and understanding there's room for everyone to succeed without stepping on each other's toes. So if you want to build your reputation that is someone who is respected, trusted, and admired, you need to start by playing fair. Okay? At the end of the day, it comes down to this. If you can't play fair, get the fuck out of the game. This industry has enough challenges without adding unethical behavior to the mix. So we want to be successful. You want to be classy. You want to do it the right way. Put in the work. Create your own ideas. Hire a consultant that can help you. If you need to take aspirations from someone else, you damn well need to give them credit. The credit that they deserve. Now let's broaden this discussion beyond the crashing of events. We're talking about copycatting in general. So whether you're swiping another med spa's deals, reels, service menus, bundles, websites, or content, in a small industry like ours, where it is so incestuous, everyone follows everyone on social media, copying is the fastest way to damage your reputation. You think you might be clever, using someone else's ideas for promotional deals or duplicating their reels or content. Here's the reality. People notice. And when they do, it reflects poorly on you and your brand. And I'm going to tell you a couple reasons why. Okay, so it makes you look unoriginal. Patients and peers can spot a copycat from miles away. When you're constantly recycling ideas that have already been done by others, it shows a lack of creativity and innovation. And then losing trust. I mean, trust is everything in our industry. We all know this. If your patients or peers see you copying someone else's work, they're going to start to wonder what else you're copying, right? Are your before and afters authentic? They start asking and questioning these things. Treatment protocols, business practices. Once the trust is lost, it's incredibly hard to regain. Another thing it does is it diminishes your brand identity. You should be reflecting on what makes you unique. When you copy someone else's ideas, it dilutes your own brand, as well as diluting someone else's brand that worked really hard. In this industry, word of mouth is so powerful. Being known as the industry copycat, that's got lasting consequences. Your peers are going to be polite to your face, but I will tell you, I have been involved in hearing these conversations. People will come to me and they're like, yeah, I'm nice to that person at a conference or whatever, but they are absolutely talking about you behind your back. Okay. So it creates a negative reputation for yourself. The other thing is laziness doesn't pay off. Copying's super easy for sure, but it's not a success strategy. You need to be an innovator. It requires effort, creativity. And then you want patient authenticity, okay? Patients are going to see that you're not authentic. They're savvy as fuck. They crave authenticity. That's why they pick you. If they feel like you're just borrowing content and you're following and you're not leading the crowd, they're going to think the same for what your treatment outcomes are. Copying also limits your growth. You're limiting your potential. You're missing the opportunity to develop something that's truly original that's going to set you apart. And then you got legal ramifications. Let's dance on that for just a sec. So copying can also lead to legal trouble. If you're stealing content or images or something that you don't know that's been trademarked, you can find yourself in some serious hot water. You don't want to damage that long-term brand and respect of the industry. Okay, it's going to bring you short-term gain. It's not sustainable though. And this goes for clinics, this goes for consultants, this goes for everybody in our industry. Marketers, everything. This closes the door to potential collaborations and opportunities. So let's turn this around and let's share some good news. Okay, originality always outweighs copying over your competition. Here's why. Authenticity resonates with people. Originality keeps you connected with your demographic on a deeper level. When patients are seeing you offering something fresh and unique, it resonates with them. They want to become a loyal patient. Original ideas offer a memorable experience. When you're consistently delivering results and new exciting experiences, your brand loyalty goes up. It's hard to beat, right? Your brand is your med spa identity. Originality keeps it strong. It also has it being recognizable and standing out in the crowd. It sets you apart. In a saturated market, originality is what's going to set you apart from your competition. It's your key differentiator. It's what makes you unique and memorable. It creates opportunities, new collaborations, maybe media features, speaking engagements. You want people to see you as innovative and creative, as a leader in this industry. So let's talk about how we're going to generate new innovative ideas. Okay, so I want to leave you with some strategies. Number one, you got to know your audience. New ideas. Who's listening to these new ideas? What are their preferences? What are their pain points? You can create offerings and tailor things that are specific to those folks when you know your audience. The next one is leverage your team. Your team is a valuable resource, right? You want to tap into generating new ideas with their team. Encourage them to share their insights and brainstorm. Some of the best ideas come from collaborating with your team. Look outside the industry. Inspiration can come from anywhere. Just look at what's happening in other industries. fashion, technology, entertainment. How can you apply those ideas in your med spa? Engage with your patients on feedback. Ask them what they'd like to see to develop new services, products, experiences. You know, why they would leave the competition to come to you. And then experiment and take risks. Don't be afraid to try something new. Not everything's going to be a home run, and you got to be careful that you aren't sinking a bunch of money into it or risking your reputation. But the more you experiment, the more likely you can discover something that actually works that's really cool. And then you reflect on what's worked for you in the past. Take the time to reflect on what's working and what isn't. Use those insights to refine the offerings and continue to innovate. Guys, there's a lot here to unpack. I just wanted to really come out and share with folks about the crashing of events and the copying in this industry, because I see so much of it. Folks hire me to sell at their events. I'm flown into different places to do that. I love to do a training right before the event, a little retail rockstar workshop, a little money-making membership workshop on kicking ass for doing an event. So if we plan an event together, we do that through consulting. You can also get the Bitchin' Event Guide. I mean, it is a resource that literally you buy once for $250 and you use it over and over and over again. It is a gem of an investment. I know you've spent $250 on something much more stupid, okay? I know that. Invest in event planning. You will have an amazing ROI if you do it the right way. Let's set up a discovery call. I love you guys. I love you so much, and I appreciate all the loves and shares and the recommendations to other colleagues for listening to this podcast. I am here to assist you. I am here to help you. The passion of this runs through my veins. If I won the lottery tomorrow, you'd know it because I'd be eating lobster every day, but I would still be doing this podcast. I would still be doing things to help you because it is my mission and passion in life. And that's where some of this channeled anger and bitchiness comes from, is because, again, I see your potential in you before you do. So let's stay connected. Thank you for tuning into this episode. And remember, in this business, integrity isn't just an option, it is a requirement. I want you to stay sharp, stay ethical, focused, and fabulous. And until next time, the Bitch and Beautician signing off.
Don't want to wait to see things stay the way they are.